Hello everyone, welcome back to another Genshin Impact video. My name's ArcRevner and I like to play games, and today we're going to be talking about the Blackcliff Warbow and whether or not it's worth buying from the shop using your Master List Star Glitter for Ganyu. So, I've been hearing this go around a lot of people asking about whether the Blackcliff Warbow is actually a viable weapon for Ganyu. So I decided to go ahead and buy one and level it up so that I could make a video for you guys so that you wouldn't have to spend your resources if you didn't have to. Now, the Blackcliff Warbow is something that you can get out of Paimon's Bargain Shop, and honestly it is a very good weapon. If you look at its stats, you'll actually see that it has the highest base stat for a 4-star weapon. It's tied actually with a sacrificial bow, starting at 44, so it's actually a really strong weapon. But what really makes it special is its crit damage substat. This is really the big selling point for this weapon in my opinion. However, its passive abilities are both hit and miss. Honestly, it is a really good ability if you do end up stacking these, but it does require you defeating an enemy first, which can sometimes be hard, and sometimes when you're fighting a boss, you won't even be able to defeat an enemy to get the passive effects. So, in terms of longer term content and Spiral Abyss and hordes of enemies, this weapon is phenomenal, but in terms of single enemies or small encounters, this weapon really does fall off in terms of damage because you can't take advantage of the stacks. Another really important thing to keep in mind before buying this with your Master List Star Glitter is that it does cost 24 Master List Star Glitter, and that's one short of 5 summons. So by buying this weapon, you will be losing out on 5 summons if you decide to get it without any refinements. And if you do end up deciding to get any refinements, that means that you will be sacrificing multiple 10 pulls in order to get it fully refined. So that's something that you really have to consider before actually going ahead and purchasing this weapon. However, on the flip side, since this is a gacha game and all the weapons that we do get from the gacha are completely random and we have no control over it, this is a very good way to make sure you're getting what you want, making sure that you can refine it over a short or a long period of time depending on what you personally need for your account. Which is why even though you do technically have to use in-game currency in order to buy it, I think that this is actually fairly free-to-play friendly because you know exactly what you want and what you're getting. Alright, now let's quickly go over my Ganyu build, her stats, and everything that you need to know before we talk about the Blackcliff Warbow and show off its damage. So I am using a level 70 weapon on a level 80 Ganyu. I do not have enough resources to get it all the way up to level 80. However, just to give you guys a feel and to understand the mechanics of this, I don't think that this is really a big problem. Just know that it'll end up doing more damage the more that you invest into it. Also keep in mind that every time that you proc one of the stacks on her passive, she will be doing a lot more damage. You just have to make sure that you're defeating enemies pretty regularly in order to maintain that stack for 30 seconds. As for my artifacts, you'll see that I'm using a Blizzard Strayer set. I'm using a 4-piece set. I do think that this is by far the best artifact build for her currently since she is such a heavy-duty cryo user. However, you could substitute for a Wanderer's Troop set, or if you wanted to do a 2-piece Blizzard set with, say, the Noblesse Oblige, to make sure that her burst damage is doing more, or the Gladiator in order to make sure that her attack's high enough, I think those are viable options too. But this is what's working best for me and the best artifacts that I have for her currently, so that's what we'll be rolling with for the rest of this video. Alright, let's quickly go ahead and look at her stats. Her attack is currently pretty low, it's around 1500. However, I've made up for it because of the Blackcliff Warbow's passive, which pushes me well over 200 crit damage, which is pretty huge. I don't need that much crit rate because of the Blizzard Strayer. My energy recharge is a little bit low at 110. My cryo damage is sitting pretty at 61.6, so she's doing a lot of cryo damage, which is great. She currently is at C0. I do have more constellations, but I'm not going to unlock them until I've made more free-to-play videos for you guys, and all of her talents are currently sitting at level 8, which is pretty high, but is doable for free-to-play players. Alright, now let's get into the actual mechanics of using the Blackcliff Warbow for Ganyu. So you'll see that I'm starting with 1583 attack, and as the passive says, you need to actually defeat an enemy in order to get the passive bonus of 12% per stack. So let's try this out. Alright, there's one. We'll go back into the menu so we can check, and now we're sitting at 1,673. So that's a pretty big increase. Now let's try to take out another one. Snipe. There we go. One more hit. Alright, now let's check again. And now we're at 1,763. So we are jumping up every time. Now let's take out one more so we can see what the full potential is. Alright, and back into the menu. And now we're sitting at 1,853. So you can see that you can actually stack your attack pretty high while using this weapon. And I think that this is how the weapon actually really shines in congruence with its crit damage. I think that this is a really good weapon on Ganyu if you can manage to pull this off, however it is situational. Now let's see how much damage we do on this last one. And as you can see, that was 15,000 damage, and we started out with 12,000 damage, so that's about a 3,000 damage increase to the crit damage hit. Alright, now let's try it on the Ruin Guard and just see how it goes, because this is without any bonus because we're attacking it straight on without defeating any enemies prior. And you'll see we're still managing to crit for about 12,800, which is really good. So let's see if we can use the ulti here. 8,000 on the skill damage, about 4,000 on each icicle. It's pretty solid damage. I think that this is pretty solid because I've tried some of the other weapons and they don't hit quite as hard. Alright, and for the rest of the video I will be taking on a dungeon as well as some bosses so that you guys can see just how well the Blackcliff Warbow actually works on Ganyu in different situations. And then we'll check in towards the end of the video so I can give you guys my final thoughts after testing it. If you've made it this far into the video and are finding it helpful so far, please consider liking and subscribing for more Genshin Impact content. It'll really help my channel grow. We are over 300 now, and it'd be great to hit 500 soon, so if you can, that'd be great.
All hail.
This is order.
Born of ice and frost. Access denied. Rain cutter. Blaze over.
Order guide you.
Life goes on. Rain outlines your fate. We're way behind schedule. No touching. For Rex Lapis. Born of ice and frost. We're way behind schedule. denied. We're way behind schedule. This is long overdue. Orders given. Orders received. Guys. Access denied. We're way behind schedule. Go. Like born of ice and frost. No touching. We're way behind schedule. No touching. All hail.
Alright, and there you have it, guys. That was my full damage showcase of the Blackcliff Warbow. I really hope that you guys found it helpful, and I hope that it'll help you make a informed decision on whether you want to actually pick it up using your Masterless Star Glitter or not. I do think that this is a very powerful weapon. I do think that it is one of the strongest weapons for a main carry DPS Ganyu. However, I do have to say, if you do already have something like the Favonius Warbow, Stringless, or if you want to craft the prototype Crescent, Those are all extremely viable options, so don't feel as though you need this weapon in order to have a good or powerful Ganyu. I'm just saying that this is a very strong weapon, so if you do want to make a crit damage build, that this is actually really viable and you know exactly what you're getting and you'll be able to refine it over a long period of time. Honestly, for most characters, I would say that this isn't worth it, but since Ganyu is so built around crit damage, and with the Blizzard Strayer set, she has a lot of crit rate, and she has a lot of crit rate built into her kit innately, having a crit damage bow can be really helpful in terms of getting a lot of damage. So I actually do give this particular bow my stamp of approval. I think that it is worth it. But at the end of the day, it's up to you, and if you think that summoning for characters, having those extra 5 summons or more summons, then maybe go ahead and hold off and either craft one of the craftable weapons or hold out until you get one of the other 4-star weapons. Alright guys, that's all that I have for today. I hope that this was helpful for you guys. I hope that this helps you make a decision. If it was helpful at all, please feel free to leave me a like and a comment down below. It really does help me grow my channel, and if you want to stick around, feel free to subscribe, and we'll be making more Genshin Impact content for the future. Alright, that's all for now. Best wishes. Bye.